Good afternoon, Afro friends and family. Welcome to another edition of Afro News at Noonish. We're going to get into some headlines. We're going to talk about some weekend highlights. Ashley, what is on your radar?
Well, we all know the Supreme Court ruled against affirmative action this weekend, which affected a lot of people. Schools and universities across the countries were extremely disappointed, but an extremely unique take is that military colleges and universities do not have to abide by this standard. And as we know, the Air Force Academy, the Naval Academy, the Military Academy are all based in Maryland. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see how the Pentagon responds to this ruling. Additionally, we already know we're about to be celebrating the 4th of July, and so people can catch fireworks at the National Stadium on today, July 3rd, and tomorrow, July 4th at about 6 p.m. So we're welcoming you out for that. This past weekend, the Afro Beats Wine Festival was celebrated. So we want to, congratulate everybody who went out there to celebrate that. And coming up, we have the Broccoli City Festival, which the Afro will be there live covering with guests like Jasmine Sullivan, Kiki Palmer, and everybody in between. So yeah, definitely make sure you stay tuned for that.
Thank you for that, Ashley. And I was following very closely. There is original coverage of the Supreme Court movements on afro.com, so make sure you check that out. All right, I will jump in here. It was a busy week in Baltimore. There were events like the Justice Thurgood Marshall celebration, which took place on July 2 in honor of his birthday. He is the first Black man to take a seat on the U.S. Supreme Court, and he grew up right here in Baltimore. So, of course, we had to celebrate that. But I will say that sadly, gun violence overshadowed all of the amazing things that happened in Baltimore City over the weekend. A mass shooting took place in the Brooklyn area of the city, claimed the lives of 2 young people and injuring more than a dozen others. And I understand that, when you see those numbers, you hear the words mass shooting, and then you see that 2 people lost their lives and more than 20 others were hurt. It's easy to look over the 20 that were hurt, but I think it's really important to just take time and think about that level of trauma, the amount of trauma that is created when you even escape a mass shooting. Just because you survive and you escape, some of these people are going to have damage to their bodies for the rest of their lives. And the physical damage that we can't see, I'm sure the mental damage is still there. I can only imagine going out and trying to have a good time, and then it ends with you being shot or running away from bullets. So praying for everyone who was affected by that shooting. It was just very sad to see that. But I will get off my chicken box now and talk about something that is a little bit more positive. We do have the Cherry Hill Arts and Music Waterfront Festival coming here. It's going to be taking place tomorrow on the shores of the Patapsco River at Middle Branch Park. Performers are going to include Mighty Mark, the Baltimore club mix giant, master jazz artist Carl Grubbs. There's going to be Navasha Daya on the stage. So make sure that you come out. We're going to be looking at the Gospel Root Rain, and the entire event is going to be hosted by Baltimore's own, the bass man, Marcella Shepard. So make sure that you come out for that tomorrow. All right, Megan, what do you have for us?
Yeah, I actually have some news about another event that's coming up this week. So on July 8th, Baltimore husband and wife team Raven Paris and Anthony Parker are going to host the Wealth Summit live at Morgan State University in the Murphy Fine Arts Center from 1 to 4 p.m. The event's going to be bringing together students, financial experts, successful business leaders to discuss financial literacy, wealth building, and entrepreneurship. And then also, if you're a fan of the Earn Your Leisure podcast, which is hosted by Rashad Bilal and educator Troy Millings, they're going to be doing a live taping of their finance podcast at this event. There'll also be a panel discussion about wealth building. They're going to be talking about credit repair, as well as some opportunities in the cannabis industry, since, as we know, recreational marijuana was just legalized in the state of Maryland. And again, that event is going to be on July 8th. My second thing that I just wanted to share is a little bit about childcare in DC. So a report from the Annie E. Casey Foundation just found that Washington, DC is the most expensive place in the country for childcare. When you look at Maryland and Virginia, their childcare amounts are about $11,000. When you look at DC, it's over $24,000 annually for families to afford childcare. It's led to 14% children living in families in which at least one person had to quit, change, or turn down a job. And so I have a story on afro.com right now that is exploring why childcare is so expensive in the district and some of the work that's being done to mitigate childcare costs. It also features an account from one mother who lives in Ward 8 and has been struggling to locate affordable childcare for her 2-year-old daughter. So be sure to check that out on afro.com.
Thank you for that, Megan. I don't have any kids, but I cannot imagine forking over that much of my hard-earned money so that I can go and work and make more money. Like that's crazy. And I mean, it's not a cost that you can really get out of. Like, you need childcare in order to work, in order to take care of your responsibilities as an adult. All right, let us know if you are in the DC area and you are facing exorbitant childcare costs. Make sure you reach out to Megan at msales@afro.com. All right, Aria, what do you have for us?
To follow up on your point, Alexis, I do not have children either. And at the rate that this is going, I'm not about to. What happened to sticking the kids at the candy lady's house? Jesus Christ. Um, but what I have for you guys, so of course, as you guys might have seen this weekend, Twitter is just out of control as it's under the control of Elon Musk now. So apparently there's been a limit put on the amount of tweets, not that you can put out, but that you can see. So those who are verified were given the limit of 6,000 tweets that can be seen. Those who are unverified or have been on Twitter for a while get 600, and those who are new and unverified get 300. From what he said, this is going to be upped to those who are new and unverified getting 400, those who are unverified getting 800, and those who are verified getting 8,000. But a lot of people aren't seeming to go for it. So they're talking about going over to a new social media platform called Spill. From what a lot of people have said, it's kind of a mixture of Tumblr. If you guys recall that, it's kind of fallen off a little bit, and Twitter put together. But then somebody said that you need like a verification code to join. I guess it's a little too exclusive. I don't know. I'll have more details for you guys, and you just might see Afro News on there. So be sure to look out for us. But also, we talked about a bunch of events coming up. This month is the 13th annual Lake Arbor Jazz Festival. It is a fundraiser put on by the Prince George's Cultural Foundation for, excuse me, Arts Foundation. And it's for their scholarship that they use to help people in college, students with whatever. So whether that be room and board, books, tuition, whatever. If you get the scholarship, you can do what you want with it. But that is happening from July 12th to the 16th. Tickets went on sale earlier this month in February, and they've got some really cool things going on. So in addition to the festival itself, there's also going to be a celebrity golf outing, a VIP reception, a legacy trail. That's also going to be like a wine tour. There's an all-white affair with an all-white after party as well. You know how Black folks love an all-white affair. So y'all be sure to get y'all's pieces ready. And then there are going to be several meet and greets as well. Some of the artists that you can anticipate performing include Eric Roberson, Marcus Anderson, and Frank McComb. And yeah, so like I said, this is their 13th annual one doing it. It's always seemed like it's a really fun and classy affair. So if you haven't gotten your tickets already, be sure to. It'll be taking place in Prince George's County.
All right, thank you for that, Aria. That wraps up another edition of Afro News at Noonish. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you check out afro.com to read all of those stories that we mentioned here. Follow us, like us, comment on our Afro News TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. We're on all of the social media platforms, so make sure you reach out and let us know what you're thinking.